Let's talk about green and black in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Coming at you with a little bit of a quick format update today. If you've been struggling in this format, it feels rough. The roughest drafts I've had in this format feel terrible. 0-3, 1-3. Feels like I couldn't do anything in any of the games that I was losing in. If you've been struggling, my experience has been to avoid green, avoid black. Now, I know a lot of us content creators had black as the worst color by a lot in this format early on. I still don't think it's great, but I actually think that green has fallen behind black for me as the least desirable color to be in, and I expect that most people will be talking about that over the coming days and weeks, that green is actually sort of the least desirable color in the format. My reason for saying that is that green has really no commons or uncommons that are early picks. So, and the data does kind of bear this out. So if we're looking at 17 lands here, the best cards at common or uncommon in green are Allies at Last, which is a pretty good removal spell, and Toph the Blind Bandit, which is just a great rate card. We did outline these in the format overview video. But the first common that we see that's any good is Pillar Launch, which is a combat trick, which is typically a late pickup in any sort of draft. Ostrich Horse in the C+ area, and Badger Mole in the C+ area. Whereas you could see with some of the other more desirable colors, white and blue, we've got tons of stuff up in the A, B minus range at common and uncommon here. So pretty easy just to see that we want to sort of avoid green. Red looking pretty good as well. Cave of Two Lovers, Iris Demonstration. It's got good removal. It's got, high quality removal at common and uncommon. So really is a Jeskai format, white, blue, and red. And then black, at least black gets premium removal with Heartless Act and Epic Downfall. Yes, its commons are, not very desirable, but even Sold Out is a decent spot removal spell. Green just doesn't get anything like this. And green also doesn't get any good signpost uncommons. So at least black has Foggy Swamp Spirit Keeper, which is an excellent, excellent card. Tolls of War, I haven't had this work for me yet, but I have seen it pop off for other people, especially if you have multiples of it. Black touches Messenger Hawk, which is a decent card. Daily Agents is not bad. Green, all you've really got going on is White Lotus Reinforcements, which is good, but this is, a main base white deck, the Allies deck, supported by green. So if you are starting green in your drafts, if you find yourself starting green in your drafts, if you're seeing cards like, let's say, Rocky Rebuke, and thinking that's good removal, I'm going to take that second pick, third pick. If you're seeing, and I got bamboozled by this one here, Earth Rumble. I saw this 5th or 6th pick. I said, maybe green's open. Earth Rumble, 4 mana, Earthbend 2, and then fight something. That's like a 2-for-1. Not a great card, and the data does bear that out. Another one I got bamboozled by, Earthbending Lesson, 4 mana to Earthbend 4. The card is objectively awful. Like, what I didn't realize about this one is that you can't really play it on turn 4, because you want to have, you're going to be behind if you're playing green, and you want to have your 4/4 up the block. So this is like a 5-drop, that you can't even always, cast or use reliably. So anyway, I don't want to, dunk on green too hard, but I just wanted to put this video out there to say, if you are having trouble in the format and you find yourself in green, you find yourself in black often, I would recommend adjusting your position on those colors and trying to start in blue. So why am I not saying white? Because white is it's just not showing up in drafts for me anyways. I think everybody knows it's great. It's got some really, really excellent uncommons, and it's got some great commons as well. Its deck's pretty straightforward. We outlined this in the format overview video that Boros and Selesnya and Azorius are going to be really good, and they are, and even Orzhov white-black is really good. So white's hard to come by. I like to start in blue in my drafts right now. Blue, historically, in formats where it's good, is underdrafted because its cards have a lot of text on them. They're a little bit obscured as to what they're really trying to do. They look like they might not be that good. They might be, a little bit hard to understand. Like, oh, is this really removal? Lost Days? It puts it back on top of their deck, actually second from the top, which is really good. Yes, it is truly removal, and you get a clue out of it, and it's a lesson. So because there's so many sort of different levers to pull in blue with, I need lessons, I need instants, I need creatures that care about these things, it tends to go a little bit underdraft. I'm still seeing Lost Days. You can see it's got an average last seen at ALSA of 5.7. I saw one pick 11 today. So it happens. And I've really been enjoying blue. You could pair blue with white. You could pair blue with red. And I actually had a draft today where I was nearly mono blue off of the waterbending scroll, which we'll sort of see how good that is. I'm not sure where that shows up in the data. But I'm going to try that one out. And I ended up wheeling a couple of Foggy Swamp Spirit Keepers. And all of a sudden, I'm sort of heavy blue, splashing black for a little bit of removal. And a really strong uncommon. So blue's got a lot of flexibility in where it can go. And it tends to be underdrafted. So I would start in blue. Starting in red's a little bit riskier, but if you can start with a couple of firebending lessons, Iros demonstration, if you start with the good lessons that are removal, then that will lead you down a path where, again, you could just play a solid red-white deck. If white happens to be open, it's going to pair really well with blue, and you kind of go from there. If you absolutely have to play green for some reason, I think you're supposed to be an aggressive, assertive, kind of mid-rangey deck, and I think that sort of revolves around the card Badger Mole. This is the card I've been most impressed with at common for green. Again, I really don't think you want to end up here, but if you have a couple of these and you've got a curve that kind of makes sense and you can pressure your opponent, I could see this being okay, but you really want 2-drops in this format, and green just doesn't have it. Its best 2-drop is Raucous Audience, which is not a good attacker or blocker, and I just don't see it here with green. And similarly with black, again, it's got good removal that you could start out with early and try to pair with something, but its commons and uncommons and its early plays are just not very impressive at all. Now, that being said, black does have some pretty scary rares and mythics. Rise of Sozin, Fire Nation Drill, Raven Eagle, Phoenix Airship. I haven't even seen this yet. But it's got some pretty scary rares. So if you start with a really good rare, then, sure, you could push down black and, maybe try and pick up some ways to recur it, try to pick up some cards in blue that let you draw and discard so you can find the rare more easily. These types of things are generally where the roads you want to go down. Green, its rares are good, but I don't think they're quite as scary as black. The best is the Earth King, which it's fine, but it's just stats. And I don't know, I've beaten this card pretty handily with a low curve, more aggressive, assertive deck. The fact that green just doesn't get online until turn 4 is really what hurts it in this format. Badger Mole Cub is good rate, but do I want my early drops to be green? Do I want to be heavy green? I don't know. Earthbender Ascension is excellent. Great Divide Guide is just good because it's an ally and it fits into that deck. So I'm not saying, never play green. Like, yeah, if you get a couple of Earth Kings, then sure, you can rock a green deck. But even we'll see if we filter here from all users, if we filter to top users, all of a sudden Earth King drops way down, Badger Mole Cub way up because it's a cheap card, I'm assuming. And people are able to synergize it a little bit better. But okay, so that's all I wanted to say today. Let me know your thoughts. Have you had success with black and green in this format? What's been working for you? What hasn't been working? Are you enjoying the format? I really am enjoying it a lot, even though the losses feel pretty devastating. Let me know. Would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. See you very soon. Bye for now.